Good morning. We'll start off with the second lecture today. Yes. I'll continue with what we had left yesterday. So a continuation में discussion होगा. Yesterday, if you remember, towards the end, we discussed the concept of profit and loss account, concept of balance sheet. Two major concepts we discussed. And if you remember, in the balance sheet, we talked about it's a statement which is always given for the year ended something. या फिर एज ऑन होता है बैलेंस शीट. कुछ याद है? मैंने गलत भी लिखा होगा, सही भी लिखा होगा. इफ यू कैन रिमेंबर दिस, बैलेंस शीट इज एज ऑन समथिंग इज, और बैलेंस शीट इज फॉर द ईयर एंडेड समथिंग. Balance sheet is always as on something, because if you remember, I told you that it gives me the financial position as on a particular date, right from the beginning till 31st March of a specific year. Okay. And for profit and loss account, we talked about for the year ended something. So let's take an example that a businessman started his business on 1st of January 2015. Okay. And we are trying to draft the balance sheet of the business as on 31st of March 2019. Then can I say all the assets which have been purchased from 1st of January 15 till today and which have not been sold off, will they appear on the balance sheet as on 31st March 2019? जब से purchase किया है, from that date till today, will it appear on the balance sheet? Answer is yes, definitely. And if I'm talking about profit and loss account, do you remember what 2 points come in profit and loss account? Incomes. No. In balance sheet, we talk about two things. Assets. Balance sheet के लिए क्या बोलो? Assets and liabilities. And what about P&L? Incomes and expenses. Okay. So all the assets, all the liabilities as on 31st March. So the point which I was telling you, that let us say I have purchased some asset in 2015, some asset in 2016, some asset in 2017, and I have not sold it off till today. Then will they appear on the balance sheet as on 31st March 19? Answer is yes. Okay. Because we say it is a balance sheet as on a particular date. If you remember, it's about a position. It's a positional statement that we are talking about. But if you are talking about P&L, then P&L is always for the year ended something, wherein we talk about only two criteria. Which two criteria? Incomes and expenses. Is it a positional statement or is it only for 1 year? 1 year. It's only for 1 year. Absolutely. Okay. So let us take an example. If I earned some income in 2015-16, will it appear in this year's P&L? No. It will appear in that specific P&L. तो इस साल के P&L में क्या आएगा? What will come in this year's P&L? This year's income and this year's expenses. That will come in this year's P&L. Is this okay? Yes. So that was about what? Balance sheet versus profit and loss account. Okay. Now today what we are going to do is, if you remember, I showed you L&T annual report, and today I've got L&T annual report 2019. 2018-19 Larsen and Toubro. And if you remember, what was this annual report? Can anyone tell me annual report क्या था? Okay, so it will talk about a lot of information, right from who are the founders, who are the promoters, who is the top level management, iska MD कौन है, who is the director, then what is the company's mission, vision, how did they start, what was their performance in the past. If you remember, I told about this also, last 10 years performance, that is discussed. What are the company's upcoming projects, that is also discussed. And very important, what was the financial position of the current year? And in that, if you remember, I showed this contents page. Contents page may we talk about something which is very important, and that is your annual report. That is your financial statements. And financial, you can see this standalone financial statements. And yesterday we had taken this, that what is this concept of standalone financial statement? So he had asked, I guess, financial statement में क्या आता है? Financial statement में क्या क्या आता है? If you can remember, 4 points in financial statements. Yes, 5. The 5th one was also included. By the way, 5th one got included 2 or 3 years ago, not much before. So 5 things which come up in financial statements. Which are these? Number 1, balance sheet. Number 2, profit and loss account. Number 3, cash flow statement. Number 4, notes to accounts. And number 5, statement of changes in equity, if it is applicable. Okay, statement of changes in equity is not applicable for everyone, right? So financial statements में ये 5 documents आते हैं that we know, but in this specific terminology you can see standalone financial statements, and if I just scroll down you can see something known as consolidated financial statements. We are not exactly aware about what is the difference. Anyone knows? Could you see these two terminologies? Here it is given what? Consolidated financial statement, and here what is given? Standalone financial statements. Anyone knows the difference? नहीं तो नहीं, मैं बता दूंगी, don't worry. नहीं पता है? Okay. So I'll tell you a very simple example. Larsen and Toubro, the company that we are talking about, do you think that they have only one branch in India? Or multiple branches रहेंगे? Multiple branches. Do you think branches only in India or branches even outside India? Branches even outside India. So in this case, what will happen? Let us say I'm talking about Larsen and Toubro. They'll have one head office. They'll have some branches which are in India. And there could be branches outside India. Correct? Now let us understand, ideally should each branch understand about its own profitability, कि हर एक branch level पे कितना profit हुआ, एक branch level पे loss हुआ कि नहीं. Don't you think this should be calculated? You all are, many of you are having work experience. So don't you think कि मैंने अगर कोई branch लेटर से मुंबई में start किया, should I know that whether my Mumbai branch is earning a profit or is it at loss? Yes, it's an important point if I were to take any decision based on that. Correct? So I have to understand what could be the position for Mumbai branch. So now let us understand. क्या Mumbai branch का separate P&L, will it be prepared? Ideally, yes. Let us say there are 5 more branches in India. And do you think all 5 branches will also prepare their separate P&L, separate balance sheet? Yes. Why not? But now assume that for L&T, there are 30 branches in India, 45 branches outside India, and 1 head office, registered office that we call. If I were to give the shareholders, everyone understands? The people who have bought the shares of L&T. If I were to give the L&T shareholders balance sheet and P&L of each branch, do you think is there any value addition? कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा shareholders को? Any value addition for the shareholders? Are they interested in a branch level performance or are they interested in a company level performance? Company level performance. Who would be interested at branch level performance? Management. Management will be involved, na? Because management has to take a call whether I should continue with this branch or whether I should shut down the operations of this branch. So it is okay that the management understands कि ये branch होना चाहिए, ये continue करेंगे, ये continue नहीं करेंगे, whatever. But the shareholders need not understand that branch wise whether they are earning profit or not. They are enough, they have enough knowledge if they understand about the company's performance. So logically बताओ, हर एक का P&L, every P&L will be given to shareholders or just one P&L at entity level? Only one P&L at entity level. What about balance sheet? Only one balance sheet. What about cash flow? कितना cash आया, कितना cash गया? Each branch are they interested or again only at entity level? Again only at entity level, only one financial statement. So whenever I'm talking about taking together, compiling together, what plus what plus what? HO, registered office, head office, plus branches in India, branches outside India, all put together. This is known as standalone financial statement. I'm sure everyone would have thought that I will say consolidated financial statement. Okay, but here is a trick. We call this as everyone, stand-alone financial statement. I will tell you why. When I tell you what is a consolidated financial statement, then you will understand why this is called as stand-alone financial statement. Is it okay till here? Yes. Now let us understand then what is consolidated financial statement. Have you ever heard about the word subsidiary? This is my subsidiary. Yes. Branch, no. Subsidiary is not a branch. Not necessary. Complementary service given, not really. Okay. Now, a unit that is completely dealing with something different. Not necessary. एक ही कंपनी के So you're saying if it is bifurcated product wise, then it's a subsidiary. Like you're saying, example is Tata Sons. Tata Sons is known as the holding company. And Tata Sons के लिए Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Motors, Tata Tea, Tata Coffee, all these would be subsidiaries. Just because they are dealing in different products, it's a subsidiary? No. So your example is correct actually. For Tata Sons, all these are subsidiaries. But why they are subsidiaries is not correct. So I'll tell you. Huh. Actually, it has got nothing to do with business model or products or something like that. Supporting karte. No. All this is, they have a part in the equity. Okay, so let us understand. But how much part, any idea? 50, 49 something. Okay, thoda sa galat ho gaya. Not less than 50, it has to be more than 50. But very good answer. So I'll tell you. Let us say there is a company. We'll take the same example, Tata Sons. Okay, please understand. Okay, I'll tell you. So Tata Sons is what? Tata Sons is holding company, the main company. I can say in simple language, this is known as the parent company. Okay, parent company, and parent company ke apne bacche. Okay, so parent company is Tata Sons, and they have 2-3 companies, that is, let us say Tata Motors, TCS, and let us say Tata Coffee. Okay, now let us say Tata Motors is running its business with 100 rupees of capital. I know this is a very nonsense figure because it will be multiplied by so many numbers. I don't know, but just for your simple understanding, I'm telling you that Tata Motors is running its entire business with how many rupees? 100 rupees. The basic fund, the introductory fund with which you run your business is known as the capital. Okay. So what is equity capital is nothing but the original funds which were introduced by its owners. Okay. So just as an example, assume that I am one of the Tatas. Okay. And I start Tata Motors with 100 rupees. Okay. Ekdam initially. So am I the owner? Am I the promoter of Tatas? Yes. With how much money I have started the business? 100. This is known as the equity of the business. Money with which a company started is the equity of the business. Okay, that is nothing but the share capital of the business. Okay, by the way, this concept is very much dealt with in detail in my basics of stock market lecture. Right now I'm just telling you in very short that it is the basic fund with which you have started the business. Is this okay? Right? अब क्या होता है देखो, I started the company with 100 rupees, agreed. But then Tata Sons, as and how I started to grow, Tata Sons said, so originally let us say it was just standalone Tata Sons, Tata Motors. Tata Sons, assume in the beginning, had no connection with Tata Motors. Please understand this carefully. शुरुआत कैसे हुआ है? How has it started? Tata Motors as a solo company, single company, no connection with Tata Sons. Okay. Maybe after 2-3 years, Tata Sons says, Tata Motors is doing really well. We should make an investment in Tata Motors. So what Tata Sons does is that Tata Sons purchases 60 shares, 60% I can say of the main capital of Tata Motors. In simple words, हिस्सेदारी. कितना हिस्सा उठाया? How much percentage have they owned now? 60%. So a company, Tata Sons, holding more than 50% shares, holding more than 50% hissedari of another company, which is Tata Motors. This company, Tata Sons, is known as the holding company, and this company is known as subsidiary company. Okay. I'll take 2-3 examples, you'll get a better understanding. Assume I start my business with again 100 rupees capital. I'm doing very well. 3-4 years I'm earning good profits. Okay. Now what happens is that this is a typical business line. I'm a startup. I'm sure you have heard about this word, startup. I had a startup. And with 100 rupees only I started my business. And today I'm doing very well. Now you can see there are many investors who would like to invest in my company. हर एक बार यही होता है ना. There would be many investors who say यार रचना का business अच्छा चल रहा है. We'll invest in her business. Now investors say that we are ready to give you funds. Quickly tell me, do I need funds to expand my business? Yes, I need funds to expand my business. But I don't have money with me right now. So I'm searching for whom? I'm searching for investors. Investors come and say, they are saying, Rachna, we are ready to give you funds. But we don't want to give you funds like a loan. Okay, what is the investor saying? We don't want to give you a loan. We don't want fixed rate of interest. We don't want you to repay us within a specific time frame. We want to become the owner of your company. Is there a difference? Yes, please try to understand this concept now. This is what happens with every single startup. I'm sure you have heard about Byju's. It's one of the biggest education startup in India. And do you think Byju's में शाहरुख खान पहले से था क्या day one से? नहीं, obviously नहीं. It started up with a very small type of organization. But then when Byju's wanted to expand, they needed money. Shahrukh Khan क्या बोला? मैं हूं ना. So Shahrukh Khan said, I will lend you money. No problem. But Shahrukh Khan said that I don't want to invest in your business like a loan. I don't want to give you a loan. Because I feel that Byju's can be a good business in India. Because right now, believe it or not, there are parents who would take their small children to coaching class. Small children matlab kya? Senior KG, first standard, second standard. You have coaching class for first, second standard also. And many children would be going for coaching classes. Now what is the Byju's scheme? What was the thought process? Instead of taking these kids to the coaching class, bring the coaching class home and make it more interactive. Everyone must have seen matches, World Cup matches, yes. And between every single over, you had Shahrukh Khan coming in for Byju's. And they were talking about Disney Byju's for first to third standard. You might have seen the ads, na? Yes. So are they making learning more fun? So yes. And Shahrukh Khan saw that, yes, this seems to be a promising investment. So now what Shahrukh Khan did was, he has many companies. So I'm sure everyone is also an IPL fan. Kolkata Knight Rider, he has established that as a separate company, by the way. His films related Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited, that's a company again. Okay. So what Shahrukh Khan did was, Shahrukh Khan said, okay, I'm ready to give you a loan. Now let us say Shahrukh Khan is giving a 10 CR. Acha, not loan, sorry. I'm making a 10 crore investment in Byju's, let us say. Then Byju's is saying, what is the repayment period? How much interest we have to pay? Shahrukh Khan is saying, no interest. Byju's is very happy. Wow, no interest. Shahrukh Khan is saying that whenever you earn profit, I will be a partner in profit. Hissedari chahiye mujhe. I want to become an owner. I don't want to become a lender. Farak hai kya? Who is a bank? Bank is generally a lender. Bank says हमको आपके profit से लेना देना नहीं है. Whether you are in profits or whether you are in losses, we are least concerned. We want our EMI. We want our loan installment. Okay, but one who is a risk taker, what is he interested in? He is not interested in EMI. He is not interested in that small interest. He says, I want to earn profit share. So who is this person called as? He is like an investor. Okay, an investor is investing some amount of rupees in another company. यहाँ तक okay क्या? अभी 10 करोड़ के बदले में what is Byju's giving in return? Some percentage, not of the profit directly, they are selling their ownership now. Assume that Byju's is started by 2 individuals and they own 50-50 ownership, 50% ownership they are holding, two people. Now what they did, this is just an example, this is not a factual thing, but Shahrukh Khan actually has invested in Byju's. He is one of the key investors of Byju's. So now what happens is Shahrukh Khan says, I want 51% or let us 52% stake I want in Byju's, then only I'll give you a loan. I'm sorry, then only I'll give you funds 50 crores rupees or 10 crores, whatever, and I will also advertise for Byju's free of cost. Okay, deal समझ में आ गया? Shahrukh Khan is going to do free advertisement and also he's going to lend some money. बदले में क्या मिल रहा है? Shahrukh Khan is saying, I want to be the third in line now, but आपके थोड़ा सा ऊपर. So he is saying that I want 51% in your company. अब ये कहां से और 51% कहां से आएगा? Will these guys have to sell their ownership? It can't go beyond 100 na, it's mathematics. Total share will be 100 na, कुछ भी करो. Okay, so total share 100 hona, he wants 51 now. So let us say for simple mathematical calculations, he wants 52. So what will happen? This guy will have to give mathematics 26%, and this guy will have to give 26%. And now he will be an owner of only 24%. He will be an owner of 24%. Okay, and Shahrukh Khan is the owner of 52%. Is this okay now? Now, in simple words, let us understand. Assume that Shahrukh Khan, instead of individual putting money, he said, we are making education entertainment now. Education koi entertainment kare. Because if you have seen Disney Byju's ka ad, it's actually Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse and all these cartoon characters who are going to be there to teach addition, subtraction and all that. So it's actually entertainment. So what he did was, let us assume Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. I'm sure everyone has heard this name. Yes, he has produced many movies with this company and he is the owner of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. So assume that Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited invests in what? Byju's. Okay. Now how much shares of Byju's, how much percentage holding of Byju's Red Chillies has now? Now same example we are taking in a consolidated fashion. Huh? Everyone has to answer. How many? 52% is held by Red Chillies. And how much Byju's has now? 24 plus 24 is 48% is with Byju's. Is this okay? Right? Now, Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited will be called as the holding company or the parent company. Okay. And what will Byju's be called as? Subsidiary company. Ab samajh mein aaya? Okay, a company in which, what am I saying? A company in which the parent company holds more than 50% ownership. Instead of ownership, we use the word more than 50% of equity capital. Equity capital is same as ownership. Okay, then that company, jisme more than 50%, that company is called as subsidiary company, and a company which holds more than 50% is known as holding company or the parent company. Now is it clear? Yes. Now, sir, let us understand your example. You said that subsidiary is like a branch. Do you think Byju's is a branch of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited? No. So let us understand what is the difference between a branch and a subsidiary. Branch उसी company का होता है. Means what? Branches of the same company means what? If Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited has 3 branches in India, one in Delhi, one in Pune and one in Mumbai. Okay, let us understand उनके ऑफिस के बाहर नेम प्लेट कौन सा है? What is the name plate in front of their office? Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. Okay, but what about Byju's? What would be the name board in front of their office? Right now Byju's only, correct? So Byju's name board, let us say they also have branches all over India. One in Kolkata, one in Bengaluru and one in Hyderabad. So when Byju's is preparing its own P&L, what will be taken together, tell me? Kolkata branch ka profit and loss, Bengaluru ka profit and loss, Hyderabad profit and loss, all put together is finally whose financial statements? Byju's only. Okay, so that is again standalone. So all this put together is standalone financial statements of whom? Everyone, of Byju's. Okay, quickly tell me, Delhi P&L, Pune P&L, Mumbai P&L all put together is standalone of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. This is finally Red Chillies only. So standalone of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. Okay, now but wait, understand. Red Chillies का खुद का financial statements तो बन गया. Okay, now Red Chillies is interested to know whether Byju's has made a profit or not. So let us take a small example. Assume that Byju's makes 100 rupees of profit in this year. 100 rupees profit is of Byju's. Okay, till here. Tell me how much profit is, मतलब उनके हकदार, who is, how much amount is Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited? How much they can have from Byju's? 52. So now let us understand. Assume Delhi ka profit is 20, Pune branch ka profit is 20, and Mumbai branch is also 20. Let us take this simple example. Tell me total Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited, how much is profit for standalone? 60. But is that the true profit of Red Chillies? No, because they have also invested somewhere else. Now the shareholders also want to know that, okay, Red Chillies ka is 60, but have you invested elsewhere? Yes, we have invested in Byju's also. Then tell us how much profit Byju's has owned, out of which how much you have the ownership. आपके पास उसमें से कितना हिस्सा you are actually, liable to have it. You are allowed to have it. So quickly tell me, इसमें से कितना था? 52 out of this is actually of whom? Red Chillies na. So now tell me Red Chillies का total profit कितना हुआ? 112. This is not the standalone profit of Red Chillies. This is the consolidated profit of Red Chillies. अब आया क्या समझ में? So consolidated will be what? Only Red Chillies? No, it will be Red Chillies plus subsidiaries. Right? I'll tell you one more example now. Quick. Now everyone has to answer in a very quick manner. Let us say Shah Rukh Khan has this Red Chillies हो लिया, पर Red Chillies को ही holding बना लेते. Red Chillies has also invested in Kolkata Knight Riders Private Limited. Okay. And let us assume that they have invested. Let us assume that they have invested 60%. Who has invested 60%? Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited has invested 60% in Kolkata Knight Riders Private Limited. And assume that Kolkata Knight Riders Private Limited make a profit of 200 rupees. How much share is owned by Red Chillies? Tell me. 60%. अब profit का कितना हकदार है वो? 200 into 60%. So that comes to 120 rupees. So now tell me what would be the true profit of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited? It would be 60 खुद का plus 52 Byju's का plus 120 Kolkata Knight Riders का. So it will be 232 rupees. This is a standalone profit or is this a consolidated profit? It's a consolidated profit. I hope everyone is ekdam okay with this. Now if you check this out, if I go to L&T annual report now we will understand this. Oh, now if we have two balance sheets, one is a consolidated balance sheet and one is a standalone balance sheet. Standalone balance sheet. Then who can tell me what do we mean by standalone balance sheet of L&T? L&T's balance sheet, head office ka balance sheet plus all its branches ka balance sheet put together is standalone balance sheet of L&T. And what would be the consolidated balance sheet of L&T? L&T's own standalone balance sheet plus L&T's subsidiaries ka balance sheet. But story does not end here. It's not only subsidiaries. It is also associates. अब एक नया word आ गया. Okay, so what is associates? Wherein any company, abhi I'll tell you the shareholding pattern. अब shareholding pattern is like हिस्सेदारी इतना तो समझ में आया? Yes. Quickly tell me. I'll put it on a scale of 0 to 100. If I'm holding more than 50% in any company. So let us say A is a company A and this is B. Company A, company B. Company is holding more than 50%. Then this B will be what for me? Subsidiary. For me it will be a subsidiary company. Simple. That is what we discussed right now. But assume I have less than 50%. 40% I am holding. Is that a subsidiary? No. If it is 40%, that's not my subsidiary. Then the question is, How much? If I'm holding somewhere between 20% to 50%, both inclusive, exact 20 भी है, exact 50 भी है. If it is somewhere in this between, so A company holds, let us say, 40% shares of B, 40% ownership in B, then this B will be treated as my associate company. This will be treated as my associate company. Why do I need to know this? Because when consolidated financial statements are prepared, it is not only L&T plus subsidiaries. It is L&T plus subsidiaries plus associates. Okay? Have you understood who is an associate? Who is an associate? Tell me. A company in which the parent company holds 20% or more, but up to 50% shares, 50% ownership in the other company. I'm going to dictate everything. Don't worry. First understand the concept. Okay? So that is an associate. Last category. The only category. I hold somewhere between 0 to 20 bolu ya 19.99. 19.99. Because if it is exactly 20, then it's an associate. It has to be less than 20%. So let us say I'm holding 18% in B. इस रिश्ते का कोई नाम नहीं है. It's just that A has invested in B. There's no specific name for that. Okay, so we have only two names. Which two names? Associates and subsidiaries. Without looking into this all stuff. If I'm holding more than 50%, that is a subsidiary for me. Somewhere between 20% to 50%, it's my associate. Less than 20%, nothing, no name. Ha. No, then that need not get consolidated in my financial statements. So when I'm preparing consolidated financial statements of A, I'm preparing consolidated financial statements of A. So I'll just have to take a little bit different example. So देखो A is holding how much percentage in B now? लिखा है ना? A is holding how much in B? 40%. And assume that A is holding in C, so this is 0, 50 and 100 again, and A is holding in C 60%. So C is what? Subsidiary of A. And A is also holding 9% of D. One more company wherein A has invested 9% of D. Okay. Now when I'm preparing the consolidated financial statements of A, what will it be? A plus B plus C full stop. D will not get consolidated. Okay. Is it because I am telling you? तो मुझे ऐसे लगता है D नहीं होगा इसके लिए नहीं. There has to be some rule, there has to be some law, there has to be some guidance. Okay. So you need not know all these things, but I'm just telling you because you asked this question. There is something known as accounting standards. It's a law for accounting in simple words. Like you have Income Tax Act. For income tax you have an act. For what you can say GST there is an act. Yes. You can visualize something like this, that for accounting also there is an act. But it's not called as an accounting act. It is known as accounting standards. So there are separate standards. There is an accounting standard 21. Accounting standard number 21, which says that you will have to consolidate only subsidiaries and associates. You need not consolidate anything which is below 20%. Okay, so this is what our government has told. It's not because I am telling you. Okay, and there is one last thing to be consolidated, but I'm sure you might be knowing this with general knowledge. Something known as a joint venture. सुना है कभी ये नाम? Joint venture क्या होता है? Anyone can tell me? Not a very big accounting term. It's a very normally used term. Joint venture. Two companies, they come together for some specific purpose. Generally, okay, we are not digging down deep. उसमें अलग अलग टाइप्स भी हो सकते हैं जीवी के. बट इन कॉमन पार्लेंस जनरली जो अंडरस्टैंड किया जाता है, लेट अस से अ बिग फ्लाईओवर वाज टू बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड. आई एम एन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनी. आई डोंट हैव all the funds which are required for that flyover or a highway, whatever I said. So what do? I approach another infrastructure company. Actually that's my competitor. But what do I say? तेरे पास भी उतनी ताकत नहीं है, मेरे पास भी अकेले के पास उतनी ताकत नहीं. Let's come together and construct this flyover or a highway. So are we coming together for lifetime or only for that specific project? Only for that specific project. Okay, so such projects, such joint ventures are also consolidated while preparing the consolidated financial statement. So basically 3 things will be consolidated. Which 3? Subsidiary, associate and joint ventures. Okay, so I hope now you have understood this entire concept of what do I mean by standalone financial statements, where standalone financial statements is only HO plus branches in India plus branches outside India, whereas if I'm talking about consolidated financial statements, it will be what plus what plus what? So it will be basically standalone to aayega hi aayega na. It will be standalone plus all these na. So consolidated will be standalone plus what? Subsidiaries plus associates plus joint ventures. Is this okay? Shall we quickly note down whatever I discussed right now? Yes. The very first concept I talked about is what is a standalone financial statement. Standalone financial statements. So if you want to quickly draw this, standalone financial statements of L&T will include what? I'll just quickly revise this for you. Will include what? 1 HO. Then how many branches in India? 30. Let us say 30 branches in India. Let us say 45 branches outside India. All put together, one financial statement will be prepared, and that will be standalone. Done? Yes. Let us write down the next concept. Next concept is what? Consolidated financial statements. And for consolidated financial statement, you can write down this first. Consolidated financial statement will be equal to standalone financial statement plus subsidiary plus associate plus JV. No, there's no limit on percentage. Your organization is registered as a joint venture. Okay, the percentage could be anything. 20%, 40%, 60%, 3-4 partners coming together. That is also possible. Doubt? Yes. If I'm talking about consolidated financial statement, is it only consolidated P&L? Or it would be consolidated P&L plus consolidated balance sheet? What? Plus consolidated cash flow? Kya hoga? It's all. All. So if you see here, consolidated balance sheet, consolidated P&L, consolidated statement of changes in equity, consolidated cash flow statement, everything. Okay. And now, if you remember, I was talking about what is a subsidiary. So we'll write. तो बहुत danger example हो जाएगा ना. Complete mess. So, in simple words, I'll just write here. Tell me the limits. 0%, then 20%, then 50%, and then 100%. And let us say this is B Limited. And this is C Limited. And we have A Limited on top. A Limited is holding 50, let us say 70% of B Limited, and A is holding 30% of C Limited. Just draw this small thing. and write down for A Limited, comma, for A Limited, B Limited is its क्या subsidiary. For A Limited, comma, B Limited is its subsidiary. And C Limited is its क्या is its associate. I hope you're understanding a very basic point that my subsidiaries and my associates have different names, huh? But branch will have my own name. That is what I was talking about in that Byju's example, na? That for the branch of Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited, what will be my branch's name? Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited ka branch. Okay, but my subsidiary's name will not be Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited. Subsidiary's name will be a totally different, like Byju's will be totally different, like Kolkata Knight Riders. It's a separate company altogether. Okay, yes. And there itself we'll write down with this example, a company in which, now we are defining who's a subsidiary, who's an associate. A company in which the parent company, a company in which the parent company into bracket, इसको और एक नाम क्या बताया मैंने? Holding company. A company in which the parent company into bracket holding company holds more than how much? More than 50%. Is known as what? A company in which I hold more than 50% is known as its subsidiary. Is known as its subsidiary. Next sentence you can write down. If the parent company holds, how much to how much, tell me? 20% to 50%, and both inclusive, na? 20% is also included, 50%, exact 20 है तो भी associate, exact 50 है तो भी associate. 20% to 50% both inclusive. Then it is known as its associate. 20%, 50% both inclusive, then it is known as its associate. Okay, so I hope this concept is absolutely clear, right? Because when we are going to do fundamental analysis, first is fundamental is based on this document which we discussed, annual report, which has a lot of information about the company. But if we don't understand the meaning of it, it makes no sense. So that is what we are trying to understand, the meaning of all these first. So first we have discussed right now what is a standalone financial statement. In standalone financial statement, we have standalone balance sheet, P&L, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, notes to accounts. Out of these 5, we know only 2 statements ka meaning. And which 2? Balance sheet we know. It shows what position? Assets and liabilities position. If you remember, what is an asset? Anything I own is an asset. Anything I owe is a liability. That is included in the balance sheet. And what is included in the P&L? Incomes and expenses. So we know about what is balance sheet. We know what is about P&L. These last 3 we have not yet discussed. Aayega dheere dheere. And here you can see same thing is for consolidated also. So we'll have to check if L&T has how many subsidiaries, L&T has how many associates. Just for general knowledge, let us check na. Any guesses on how much subsidiaries it might have? Subsidiary means what? L&T is holding more than 50% in some other company only. ऐसे कितने कंपनीज में उनका इन्वेस्टमेंट हो सकता है? एनी रफ आइडिया? 50 बोली लग रही है 50 51 52 sold. Okay, let's check. Generally this list given. Ooh, 350 searches are there. Yes. Okay, so please understand this. If you ask me, okay, agreed that there'll be something known as a subsidiary, there'll be something known as an associate. Should there be a list of how many subsidiaries or list of associates which should be disclosed so that we understand that L&T ने कितने कितने companies में invest किया है? As an investor of L&T, I should know about all these things. So now in the annual report, you just search what I did, just Control F, search associates. And here you can see there is a separate discussion given on particulars of holding, subsidiary and associate companies. So here everything will be given. Name of the company, Ahmedabad. It's not Malya. It is Malia Tollway Limited. Okay. And then what is the registered address of the company and whether it's a subsidiary or it's an associate. So it's a subsidiary. Why is it a subsidiary? How much is the shareholding? Now you are getting the same thing. So company is holding, L&T is holding 97% of whom? That Malia. Okay. Now let us understand what is the implication. If Malia earns a profit of 100 rupees, उसमें से कितना portion का हकदार is L&T? 97.45. I own that profit to that extent. Now is it okay? Yes. अब ये list कहाँ तक जाता है? Let us understand. 1, 2, 3. चालू है. 19, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, now the shareholding pattern is it's a subsidiary है अभी भी. Fantastic. 102. अरे बाप रे. Okay. Wow, it's still going on and on. I guess I should scroll down for okay. आ गया. 136 subsidiaries, not associates as of now. Okay, this is just subsidiaries. Now this is the associates ka list. Okay, associates is comparatively less, I guess. Only 9 associates. They are not interested. See, our exact example aa raha hai, dekho idhar. It's exact 50% holding. Still it is shown as an associate. I'll tell you what happens in this case. Now this is a little bit more digging down into technicals. But if you understand this, then it's okay. Then otherwise leave it. Okay. Whenever I'm saying that I should have 20% or more of ownership. Otherwise, I'll have to teach you this section 2 into brackets 6. Then you will understand the true meaning of associate. Okay. So I'll tell you in short, it should be 20% of the shareholding or 20% in the decision making. Abhi decision making mein, in simple words, for a company who takes the decisions is the board of directors. Okay. In the directors meeting, if I have a say in the meeting, मेरा मानना उनको मानना पड़ेगा. My suggestion they'll have to take into consideration. And what will be the weightage for my suggestion? If it is more than 20%, if it is 20% or more than that, then also it is treated as my associate. So I need not have an actual shareholding, but I should have a say in the board meeting. मेरा opinion मायने रखता है. It should have a say in the meeting. If that be so, to what extent? 20%. Category is saying 20% or more, up to 50%. Then it is known as my associate. So that is pura section 2 subsection 6. So otherwise I'll also have to start teaching law, that how do I define my stake. Okay. We are here to understand how to decide whether I should invest in the company or not. Okay. So I feel that, see, I can go on and on, because इसमें अगर अपन discussion करते गए ना, then how to decide how much stake I have or how much say I have, then I'll have to take a separate batch on interpretation of laws. And I don't think that is really required. Correct, na? We should know how many associates the company has. We should know how many subsidiaries they have. and in totality what is the size of the company. Based on that I'm going to take some decision. Okay, but this was just for your knowledge that even if it is 7%, still it can be treated as my associate if I have a say in the decision making of 20% or more up to 50%. Is this okay as of now? Yes. कितना बड़ा list है देखो. How many subsidiaries we talked about right now? 136 something and 9 associates. Okay, now if this big company we are talking about, please imagine these poor finance department guys and the poor auditor. Why am I saying poor? मतलब बिचारे ऐसे category. क्यों? You can imagine 100 and this I have not talked about how many branches also. If it is having 136 subsidiaries, then you can imagine how many branches L&T has, which is not disclosed in the balance in the annual report. So if I were to prepare a consolidated financial statement of L&T, can you imagine this now? One standalone balance sheet of L&T plus 136 balance sheets plus 9 associates, all this put together is consolidated balance sheet. This will be such a maddening process. Okay, and फिर भी लोग क्या बोलते हैं, CA ने ऐसे ही काम किया है. These days the image of CAs has gone down like anything, and everyone feels that दुनिया में कोई भी fraud अगर होता है तो compulsory CA is involved. That is the conception of about CAs these days. But please understand the work, the amount, the quantum of checking a CA is required to do now. It's very easy to say that CA is involved. For sure, अपने को बोलने में क्या जाता है? Please understand, he has to check all these things. And would it be humanly possible to check each and everything? You only tell me. Humanly it is impossible. He has to choose a sample and based on the sample he is going to give his opinion. So CA can't be blamed for anything and everything. But who knows that if something is going wrong? Who knows? The one who is doing the fraud. So if it is about the owners who are involved in this, then they at least know कि अपना मतलब how much we have done, कितना अपना extent है. मराठी में we call it अपना पसारा किती है company से. They know exactly how much they have invested, where, what, how to juggle things, इधर से उधर क्या लेके जाना है. So owners are primarily responsible. You may say secondary responsibility could be of the CA. Okay, so ekdam okay. What is a standalone financial statement? What is a consolidated financial statement? Before we move on to any other aspect of balance sheet, immediately beneath this, you get to know something very important, which is absolutely important for shareholding pattern. Okay, shareholding pattern is what we must understand. This is again a disclosure given in the annual report. It's a compulsory disclosure. Let us understand what we mean by shareholding pattern. Is it visible? Yes? This will get covered in the screen properly. Okay. Chalo, shareholding pattern mein you can see category wise shareholding. Now we are talking about shareholding of whom? L&T only. Acha, what is shareholding? The ownership holding. आपको इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल नहीं पता, इट्स ओके, यू कैन लर्न दैट इन बेसिक्स ऑफ स्टॉक मार्केट. बट इन सिंपल वर्ड्स व्हाट इज इक्विटी शेयर होल्डिंग? द ओनरशिप, एंड ओनरशिप में कौन कितना होल्ड कर रहा है, इसका एक डिवीजन. सो यू कैन इमेजिन समथिंग लाइक दिस. आई कैन ड्रॉ अ पाई चार्ट बेस्ड ऑन दिस. दिस इज द टोटल शेयर होल्डिंग, इज द टोटल ओनरशिप. इसमें से हाउ मच इज ओन्ड बाय whom, हाउ मच इज ओन्ड बाय whom. दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज अ शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न. ओके, so what is the shareholding pattern? Promoters are whom? One who start the company, the owners. Now you can see how many Indian promoters are holding in L&T? 0. How many foreign promoters? यहाँ पे भी 0 है. ये क्या चल रहा है? Now we'll come to the next point wherein we talk about public shareholding. Public का कितना पैसा है L&T में? Public shareholding, all these institutions, कौन institutions? Mutual funds, then banks, governments, all these put together is only, so here you'll see number of shares at the end of the year. Total how much holding? 38%. Who is holding 38%? All the institutions. Institutions में कौन आ गया? Mutual funds, banks, government. These venture capital funds is like the investors that we were talking about. कौन investor? हमने जो बाइजू का एग्जांपल लिया था ना, द इन्वेस्टर. शाहरुख खान वाज द इन्वेस्टर. So you can imagine something like this. Red Chillies Entertainment Private Limited was like the venture capital fund. By the way, in basics of stock market, we have discussed what is a venture capital fund, who's an angel investor. All these things we have discussed. Okay. Acha, have you seen that? Basics ka? Okay, right. Huh? Mutual fund is an institution. Is mutual fund one individual? So mutual fund is like a trust actually. Mutual fund is technically registered as a trust. In which, so you might have heard about this key. Let us say we are talking about SBI mutual fund. Okay, you might have heard these names. SBI mutual fund hai. Then DSP BlackRock mutual fund hai. You might have heard about all these mutual funds. Is this owned by one individual or there is a pool of individuals which come together? Pool of individuals which come together. A trust type form hota hai. Okay. Now what does a mutual fund do in simple words? I'll tell you. People like you and me, those who don't dare to invest directly in stock markets, they'll give their money to mutual funds. So there are loads of investors who would invest money in mutual funds. Okay. And what would mutual fund do with this? Mutual fund will invest this money in stock market. Okay. Mutual fund will invest this money in stock market. So quickly tell me, not directly but indirectly they have invested in stock market only, na? Through whom? Through the mutual funds. So now who is a mutual fund? Is it an individual or is it an institution? It's an institution. Okay. So mutual fund, here you can see that mutual funds are institutions. So let us get back to the discussion. We were talking about mutual fund kya karta hai? Mutual fund would collect money from all these individuals and then they would invest in the stock market. So who are mutual funds? Mutual funds are institutions only finally. So what was your question initially about okay. That's a very basic thing. All we know is mutual fund is a way to invest. I invest in mutual funds. So I have 20 mutual funds. I have 40 units of mutual fund, whatever. So mutual fund, many people feel that it's only a type of investment. Like FD is a type of investment. Shares is a type of investment. Whereas a mutual fund is also a type of investment. That is what everyone feels. Okay. But mutual fund is an institution. Mutual fund is also an institution. So whenever I say SBI mutual fund, it's actually SBI who is having a major stake, who is one of the major promoters of this mutual fund. Or if I say it's Kotak mutual fund. Okay, Bank of Baroda mutual fund. There are so many banks who have their own mutual funds also. So it's an organization basically which starts a mutual fund. See, mutual fund is actually a pool of funds coming together and then they decide where to invest, when to invest. Okay, so please understand this. Mutual fund ke do meanings aate hain. Mutual fund is a type of investment and mutual fund is also an institution. Okay, if time permits, someday I'll explain exactly ये mutual fund का working कैसे होता है. If in our batch we get time, I'll discuss exactly एकदम base of mutual fund. Who starts the mutual fund? Who is a promoter? There is something known as an AMC, if you have ever heard of. Asset management company. Loads of concepts. Everything in itself is a big topic. Okay, so as of now, what did you understand? Mutual fund, two interpretations. Which two interpretations? One, it is a institution, and one, it is it's an investment avenue. It's where you can invest your money. Okay. So coming back to the discussion, how much shares have mutual funds held in L&T? Now here you can see, is it one mutual fund or all mutual funds put together? All mutual funds put together, they hold 16% holding of L&T. मतलब L&T का जो basic fund है, let us say of 100 rupees, out of 100 rupees, 16% ownership is of whom? Mutual funds in India. Okay, that's a big thing. Now if I talk about banks, all mutual funds. All means what? SBI mutual fund, DSP BlackRock mutual fund, Kotak mutual fund. There are so many mutual funds now. All these mutual funds put together, they are investing 16% of L&T. Okay. Then if you remember that I had just briefly discussed before the recording started in that Gafla movie wherein we discussed. I told you that banks are not allowed to invest a lot in the stock market. Okay, banks are not allowed to invest unlimited of funds in the stock market. Otherwise, what will happen? If bank is allowed to invest any money, any amount of money in stock market, what will happen? You can imagine this. If market crashes, then you can imagine something like this. I feel that share market is risky. That is why I feel I should deposit in FD. My FD, let us say I invest money in FD. After 1 year, I go to the bank and I say, FD mature, okay, give me the money. Bank says that I know that your funds have matured, but the problem is that it is invested in stock market and the market is down. So come when market recovers. This cannot happen. Okay, you will have to invest only very small amount in the stock market if you are a bank. So how much money banks can invest in stock market? Who decides that? RBI, Reserve Bank of India. They give circulars and they'll tell you can invest only this much money in stock market. Again, we are not going to discuss RBI circulars. Okay, we just need to know that banks are allowed to invest only small amount of money in stock market. So only 0.55% of L&T's stake is held by whom? Banks. Only one bank or all banks in India put together? We are all banks in India put together. SBI, PNB, Bank of India, Bank of all put together, it will be 0.55% of L&T. Even central government has held 0.26% of L&T. Insurance companies. Why insurance? Now again insurance. We take insurance. Okay, let us say I have insurance with LIC. What does LIC do with this money? Assume I am LIC. You all have taken out one policy with me. मैं क्या करूँ इतने पैसे का? I will invest it somewhere, na? Please understand, if LIC is giving good returns to its policy holders, they can't keep the money with themselves. They have to invest it somewhere to get returns out of that. So where does LIC invest? LIC invests a big chunk of its money in stock market. And then who decides how much insurance company should invest in stock market? RBI? Insurance का कोई तो होगा ना ऐसे? Police. Decide करेगा कौन? हाँ? All India Insurance. It's IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. नाम ही कई सारे पहली बार सुन रहे हैं. But RBI everyone knew, na? Yes. So RBI is like the one who is deciding the policies for banks. For insurance it is IRDA. Is this okay? Right? So if you want to write this concept of a regulator, if you can just note it down in your books. Regulator. First, let us understand who is a regulator. Regulator is the one who regulates. Regulates means what? They will decide. They'll keep a look. They'll keep a watch. Patrolling karenge wo. Like police is the regulator for civilians. I can say whether everything is going properly in day-to-day life or not. Wese, who is the regulator for banks? It is RBI. Okay. So write down regulator is the one. Regulator is the one who regulates the operations, regulates the operations of day-to-day working, regulates the operations of day-to-day working. Okay, and we'll write down quick examples. Who is the regulator for banks? RBI for banks. Then who is for mutual funds? Mutual funds have discussed in here, na? Wait, we'll not go into mutual funds right now. For banks it is RBI. For insurance companies, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India is for insurance. For third one, we talked about, we did not talk about this, but for stock markets, any idea who is the regulator? SEBI. For stock market, it is SEBI. Development Authority. IRDA is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Okay. So these are the three regulators which we discussed right now. By the way, for mutual funds, it's AMFI. Anyone has heard about this? Association of Mutual Funds in India. AMFI. This is for mutual funds. SEBI would also be a dual regulator in that case. SEBI is for, अच्छा SEBI क्या करेगा stock markets के लिए? Is that what you are asking? Okay, it's a good question. What does SEBI exactly do? Regulate मतलब क्या करता है? Okay, so let us take this example. Assume that I have opened my Demat account with some broker. Now that broker cheats me. Broker buys and sells shares on my behalf without taking my permission. Okay, now what happens is that, assume that I had, let us say, 100 shares of some company A, 200 shares of some company B, and what this fellow was doing, he was buying and selling and buying and selling. We call this as intraday transactions. Intraday, on the same day you are buying, same day you are selling, and वो बीच का जो profit आ रहा है उसमें वो मजा कर रहा है. Now, how is the broker benefited? Let us understand. See, for intraday transaction, even if there is a profit, can the broker take that entire profit, or profit is of the account holder? Profit is of the account holder, agreed. But can I say he can generate brokerage out of that? Brokerage. Every broker would charge some commission, in short, for buying and selling shares on your behalf. That commission is known as brokerage. Who is earning brokerage? The broker. Now, after, let us say, 30 days, I come to know that there are so many transactions in my account without my permission. Whom do I complain? किसके पास complain करूं मैं? With SEBI. I can complain with SEBI. Example number 2. Some company declared dividend. Have you heard about this term? Dividend. Okay. Company declared dividend. I had shares of that company, but I did not receive any dividend. I asked my broker. Dividend नहीं मिला. He said, अपने आप पे जैसे तो ना, I don't know, contact that person. He says contact that person. No one is ready to tell me where is my dividend. Finally, with whom do I place my complaint? SEBI. Okay. So can I say SEBI is an organization which is there to address the problems of investors. They're going to address the problems of investors. Like policeman ना, मुझे अगर किसी ने चोरी किया, I'm going to report to the police. Similarly, someone is doing some wrong thing with my account, I'm going to report to SEBI. That's from the angle of investors. It could be at a very big level also, like some company is not disclosing the required information. So like in annual report, assume some company does not give this disclosure or gives a wrong disclosure. ताकि कंपनी का इमेज अच्छा बना रहे. They give a wrong disclosure. Can any institution penalize a company for giving wrong disclosure? Penalty भरना पड़ेगा, wrong disclosure दिया है. Who can penalize? Again, SEBI. Okay. So SEBI is, that is why we are calling regulator. Regulate करता है. So basically SEBI is not only in the role of a regulator, they are also like a lawmaker also. There is a SEBI Act, by the way. A separate act, SEBI Act. And SEBI has their own regulations also. See a final syllabus. Students learn SEBI Act and SEBI regulations. But we should know who is SEBI and what does SEBI do. Okay? Yes? Any other doubt? No? So coming back to our L&T discussion. So many, who all are holding shares of L&T quickly? Majorly it is, can I say, majorly it is mutual funds with 16% of stake of L&T held by mutual funds. And another major one is insurance companies, which is 20%, 21% almost. So that is where we were discussing, and I came to the concept of regulator. So assume that I am LIC of India. You all have taken out insurance policies with me. I have a lot of money. What do I do with this money? I invest in the share market. Can I invest all my money in the share market? No. Why? Again, someone has taken out, let us say here there is Mr. X and Mr. X dies. Mr. X's family members are coming to me and asking for the insurance claim. मैं क्या बोलती हूँ? Come after market recovers. Will that be allowed? No. So again, should there be some organization which decides how much shares or how much chunk of my money should be invested in stock market? So yes. And who is that? For insurance company, it is IRDA. Okay, but you should know this. Those who feel LIC is very safe, and it is safe. I'm not saying it's not safe. It is very safe, but they invest a lot in stock markets. One of my friends who was doing audit of LIC, he was telling that it is said, some things are not on paper, but it is said that LIC actually has a hotline of directly government of India. Hotline मतलब क्या होता है बताती हूँ. When market is crashing tremendously, okay, somewhere there has to be a control, na? See, if market starts crashing and crashing and crashing, it has to have some support. When will a support come? When someone starts buying. It's plain demand supply. So here economics is also coming into picture. Demand supply means what? There are more sellers. People are just selling in panic. Sell, 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 and there are very few buyers. Do you think market will go up or market will crash? Market will crash because everyone is wanting to sell in panic. No one wants to buy. That's where the crash starts. Reasons could be many as to why there is a panic. We are not discussing that right now. We are not discussing the reason of panic. We are trying to understand what is the reaction of the panic. Panic हुआ. क्या किया लोगों ने? Started selling. More sellers, very less buyers. What happens? Market starts going down further. When will it have some base? When will it recover? अब exact उल्टा position कब आएगा? When there are lots of buyers, more buyers as compared to sellers. Okay. जब sell होता है ना तो करोड़ों में sell start होता है. It's not in 100 rupees, 200. It will be like millions of rupees, crores of rupees of worth shares will be sold. So you need a strong buyer, a tagda buyer who can buy a big chunk of shares now. And who's that tagda buyer? Who's that strong buyer? LIC. So bola jata, it's said that government directly says LIC, you have to intervene now. You have to interfere now. Start buying shares. Acha, is there a good point for LIC also? Yes. Why? At what price are they buying? Are they buying at a high price or they are buying after the crash? They are buying after the crash. So they are getting shares at a lower value. So still they are also okay. It's not a big loss for them. If a big chunk of buying comes into picture, ideally the market is going to recover a little bit. Okay, so please understand this. All insurance companies are also going to invest in different companies. So insurance companies, how much shares of L&T they have held? Almost 21%. Now we are talking about non-institutional people. Non-institutional people means there could be body corporate, some other company holding shares in L&T. So that is how much chunk? Small chunk again, 6%. Okay, some individuals, okay, up to 2 lakhs is 19%. In excess of 2 lakhs is 2.24%. Again, in basics of stock market, I have discussed the concept of HNI, high net worth individual, who is a retail individual investor. Just for you to understand, ये जो breakup मिलता है ना आपको, individuals, how many individuals are holding shares in L&T? They have broken it up into 2 points. Individual shareholders holding nominal share capital up to 2 lakhs. So, poor people like me, okay, who are holding shares in other companies up to 2 lakhs is what? I am called as a retail individual investor. Retail person. Okay. But if I am talking about individual shareholders holding nominal share capital in excess of 2 lakhs. So you can imagine something like this. If Mukesh Ambani in his individual capacity, not Reliance Industries, in his individual capacity, if he is buying shares of L&T, he'll buy of 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. He'll start in lakhs only, na? So assume he buys 3 lakhs ka shares. Face value ka. Then is he treated as a retail individual investor or he is treated as a high net worth individual investor? High net worth. High net worth is decided by what criteria? If you are holding in excess of 2 lakhs, then we call it as a high net worth individual. And such high net worth individuals are also holding 2.24. Achha, please check this out. 19% is held by people like you and me. 19% of L&T is held by people like you and me. How 19%? I mean, why am I saying people like you and me? Less than 2 lakhs. Okay. Okay. This is again one big amount which is coming into picture. Big percentage, sorry. 18.63%. Can you see here? 18.60% is held by whom? Foreign portfolio investors. Okay. What is foreign portfolio investors? Now Firangi people, outsiders, they are investing in Indian stock markets. Can an American person, individual, directly invest in our stock market? Answer is no. For that, again, we need to understand the foreign direct investment policy of India and foreign institutional investors policy in India. We are not again going into laws, but I'm telling you the meaning of that. Can an American directly invest in Indian stock market? Individual I'm talking about. Answer is no. He has to go through a route. There's only one route to invest in stock market, and that is called as a foreign portfolio investor route. Okay, it's something like it's like a mutual fund, you can say. So what would happen? There's a group of individuals in America who want to invest in Indian stock markets. So there is a portfolio investment hota hai. So you can imagine an institution now, जिनमें इन सबको पैसा डालना पड़ता है. This is this small institution. You can imagine something like this. All these individual investors will invest in this portfolio, and this portfolio will invest in Indian stock market. So they can't directly jump into Indian stock market. It has to be through the portfolio investment. Okay, इसके लिए भी भयंकर rules होते हैं, framed by the government of India. So foreign portfolio investment is how much again? 18% of L&T's holding. Again, we can see a big one, 12%. Who is holding 12%? Trusts, various trusts in India. They are holding 12%. Now the total is coming up to still 60%. And now if you can see here, total percent, all this put together, ADR, GDR is again a little bit tricky concept. Let's not go into that. ADR is, by the way, just for your knowledge, it's an American depository receipt. GDR is a global depository receipt, but not of major concern right now to us. And that is why you see final total all put together is 100. You might be thinking, Acha, okay, we got to know about a lot of new concepts, but based on this, can I decide whether I should buy shares of this company or not? There could be one parameter. Please understand, whenever I'm telling you how to decide whether to buy or sell, can you have only one parameter, or you'll have to check at multiple parameters? Multiple parameters. This is one of them that I'm discussing right now. So don't take this as a thumb rule. Iska itna percentage hai buy, iska itna percentage hai sell. No. This is one of the rules. So what we can do very easily is that, acha, mutual fund is also holding 16% of what? I might not have the knowledge of how to analyze shares, but at least mutual fund guys might be having knowledge. If these big guys have invested 16% in L&T, makes sense if I also invest in L&T. This is a shortcut now. Shortcut. Again, let us take this example. Insurance companies, मेरे को कुछ अक्कल नहीं है, but insurance people might be having some knowledge. If they have chosen L&T, ideally I could also choose L&T. Are you getting the thought process? Yes. So two big names were insurance companies and mutual funds, and maybe that is the reason why you can see a big amount of individual investors also investing in L&T. Okay, now what is the big problem in L&T? It's not a problem as such, but people get confused. I'll tell you this part. People get confused here. Or a promoter is not holding even 1%. This can be looked at it from two different angles. I'll tell you. Why promoter is not even holding 1%? We call such businesses as professionally run businesses. There are two types of businesses. One is a family owned business, and one is a professionally run business. What is Reliance? Family owned business. What is Tata? Tata is a professionally run business. Okay. Started with JRD Tata. Okay. But now it's more of a professionally run business. It's not like जो हम बोलते हैं ना कि राजा का बेटा राजा. That will not happen. Right? Reliance में finally whatever happened, who now is a major promoter? Still Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani only. There's no third person who is running the company. Major is Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani only. But if I talk about Larsen and Toubro, and if you remember this picture, these are actually Mr. Larsen and Mr. Toubro. some Swedish or different company, different country. They are not Indians. You can search this. You can just do a Wikipedia search about it few years ago. Huh? Finland, yes. See, these are two engineers who started this company. ये दोनों है ही नहीं अभी. But can I say their kids now run the business? No, it is a professionally run business. Okay, so we have to understand two categories. One is a family owned business, one is a professionally run business. Family owned business में क्या होता है? That promoter stake will be highest. Okay, and in the professionally run business, promoter stake will be lowest. Shall we write this down first and then I'll go to the last part of interpretation. Write down types of businesses. What is the first one? Family owned business. And second one is a professionally run business. Who can tell me? For a family owned business, what will you write? Promoter holding will be highest or lowest? Promoter holding will be ideally highest. And in a professionally run business, promoters holding will be lowest. Acha. About analysis, buy sell decision. What did I tell you? In a professionally run business, if banks, financial institutions, insurance companies, all these are holding more and more shares, can I take a decision based on that also? Can I buy? Yes. But if I'm talking about a promoter driven company now, let's take this example. Promoter driven company where the promoter ideally should have held a lot of shares is not holding a lot of shares. Okay, is this a risky thing? Are you getting my point? One more time, I'll give you an example. Satyam. Everyone has heard about this. Satyam mein Ramlingan Raju, who was the promoter of Satyam. Initially, he had good amount of shares. 60%, 70%, 80% shares tak shayad uske paas the. Ekdam initial stages mein. But when he only knew that what was happening in the company, because he was the one who was actually doing some fraud in the company. That's not, again, not because I am telling you, this is a proven fact. Indian court law has proven him to be guilty. Okay. So Ramlingan Raju himself knew that he was cooking up the books. He was showing wrong figures in the financial statements. What he did was, very smartly, he started selling his own shares. Now, promoter, if he only himself is holding 80% of the shares, what will happen? Tell me. Company is into losses. Who is the major person who is at loss? The promoter himself. But what he started to do smartly? Slowly, steadily, he started selling shares. And towards the end, roughly 2008, where the fraud came into light, he was holding not even 12 or 13% of the shares. From 70-80% to 12 or 13%. He had this journey of selling shares slowly, steadily. So please understand this. In a family driven business, if the promoter himself is holding less shares, is that a risky scenario? Can I interpret it like this? That the promoter himself has lost faith in his own business. And that is why does not want to become a major shareholder of his own company. Should we invest in such a company? Promoter को खुद को भरोसा नहीं, मुझे क्यों होगा? Correct? So this is a very important point. So we can write this down. In a family owned business, comma, if the promoter himself is selling shares on a regular basis. If the promoter himself is selling shares on a regular basis and ends up having very less shares of his own company, comma, what will you write ahead? Should an investor invest in such a company, or investor should stay away from such a company? Investor should stay away from such a company, comma, investor should stay away from such a company. Okay, investor should stay away from such a company. So last time, quickly tell me, in a professionally run business, if promoter shareholding is 0, is that a problem? No. But if in a family business, if promoter holding is 0, that's a big problem. See, देखो वही है, but interpretation is totally different. Promoter holding is 0, that is a fact, and interpretations are completely opposite. We have to understand that is why professionally run business versus family owned business. Okay, so maybe you can just take a small noting here also. In a professionally run business, into bracket, can we write down the example of L&T? Yes, example L&T. If promoters shareholding is 0, it is treated as a problem, or it is not treated as a problem? It is not treated as a problem. Absolutely okay. हाँ, कौन से इंस्टीट्यूशन का? Okay, so who will be then the main person? So like for L&T, it's Mr. Naik. I'll show you one. This person. He's the group chairperson. Now, who decides that Mr. Naik will be the group chairperson? The directors. All directors will actually vote. So this is like almost a place where we have absolute democracy. All directors will vote together and decide that we want him as the chairperson. But what will happen in a family run business? You don't have any choice to vote who should be your chairman. He is going to be the chairman by default. Actually, it's the classic example of our Indian political scenario. Na? Professionally run party versus family run party. Correct, na? Can someone decide in that family run party who is the party leader? No. That party leader gives resignation every single day. But what people say? Sir, we want you as our leader. Okay, that is a family run party. And a party where people decide who should be our prime minister, that is like a professionally run party. That's the difference between a family run business and a professionally run business. So the directors all together will decide who should be the chairman. Oh, who decides who will be on the board of directors? So again, for that, there's a complete different section in Companies Act which decides, which tells that who should be the director. So there are basically different types of directors. One is like an executive director. One is like a non-executive director. There is an independent director. Because I'm sure everyone knows there is a director. But right now you're understanding that there are types of directors also. Then it is, in law it is given what should be the composition of directors. Means how many executive directors should be there, how many non-executive directors should be there, how many independent directors should be there, how many women directors should be there. Everything is taken care by law. Okay, so again for that you should understand the voting. Again, there's a voting process proper. Okay. Independent director is in simple, or a non-executive director is one who is an outsider, non-executive director. So just as an example, in L&T, assume that there are 10 directors, just as an example. These 10 directors are working in the company day in and day out, like employees only. But can I say they'll have their own interests in the company also now? कि कंपनी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है कि नहीं, क्योंकि कंपनी जितना अच्छा परफॉर्म करेगा उतना मेरा प्रॉफिट शेयर अच्छा होगा, मेरा सैलरी उतना बढ़ पाएगा. So these are all people who have vested interest in the company. They have their own interest in the company. So that the shareholders' interest is safeguarded, they have to appoint a non-executive director. Non-executive director is a person who is a complete outsider, who would come in the company only to attend the board meeting. Okay, and I'm very proud to tell that my real brother, Rajesh Fadke, he's also a chartered accountant. He's a non-executive director for one of the listed companies of Kirloskar Group. Okay. So, मैंने बोला तुम्हारा रोल क्या रहता है? He said nothing. I have to go and attend the board meeting of that Kirloskar Group company. Okay. And I said, then what do you do? He said, whenever company discusses any issues, the board of directors discuss certain issues, they would ask their opinion to my brother. What do you think? As a third party. So, we always say as a third party you tell us, because that will be very unbiased. Okay, so non-executive directors are the ones who have expertise and they have absolute unbiased, because he does not earn any salary from that company. He doesn't get any profit share from the company. Then does he go there free of cost? पाप लगता है, free of cost नहीं जाने का कहीं पे भी. So what does he get? He gets sitting fees. That is the word. Sitting fees means what? The fees that you get just to attend the board meeting. And that is fixed. You go there, you get the sitting fees, you come out. Finish. So that's like consultancy fees that you're getting. So has it got anything to do with the profit of the company? No. Right. So there are so many checks and cross checks. This person will be cross checked by the other person. That person will be cross checked by another person. So law has tried to ensure that there will be good transparency. But what people do is they take fraudsters. If they have decided that they have to do a fraud, then you put n number of checks and cross checks, nothing will work. So assume that there are board of directors and there is this non-executive director. उसको क्या बोला कि anyways you're going to get only sitting fees ना? 2 bags. You understand what is there inside this bag? 2 bags for you as a gift. And then finally if there is a human being who does not have honesty, khatam. What check, what cross check? This guy might say sabka saath sabka vikas. Why are you only earning? Sabka saath sabka vikas ho jayega na. तुम भी खाओ पैसे, मैं भी पैसे खाती हूँ. If that is taken in the wrong sense, then no checks, no cross checks will work. Be it any company, finally where human being is there and where money is involved, किसी का तो दिमाग घूम सकता है. Like I had given one example, I guess, the rotten mango. Not all mangoes will be bad, but there will be 1 or 2 rotten mangoes. They might spoil the company. So that is the only reason why shareholders में ऐसे होता है ना, कितना भी fundamental analysis करो, जबरदस्त fundamental analysis किया, still company might go bankrupt. So that is why the English saying which you have to remember before you invest in stock market, never put all your eggs in one basket. You have to remember this. Even if you do n number of hours in fundamental analysis. There are some mad people who will invest their entire retirement funds in one company. Horriblest thing that you can do this is. Because कल अगर उस company में कोई बेकार बंदा है, he's going to eat up all your savings. So please remember this. Whenever we are learning fundamental analysis, I am telling you the probability of you making losses will be definitely low if you have done a good fundamental analysis. But no one on this earth can guarantee that you do a strong fundamental analysis, pakka you will be in profit. No one can guarantee that. Okay. So definitely, as I said, probability of making losses will be lower. So do a good fundamental analysis. And today we learned the first thumb rule in fundamental analysis. Based on what you can do a fundamental analysis, even based on shareholding pattern. Have you given the heading as shareholding pattern somewhere? दिया था या नहीं दिया था? Okay, so what was the last? If you can just give me the notebook. Types of businesses we talked about. Regulator we have talked about. Now where you have written this types of business types of businesses into bracket, you can write their shareholding pattern, because this entire discussion of types of businesses we have based on what? Shareholding pattern. No? So we have discussed the types of business and we have linked this entire discussion with what? Shareholding pattern. We have linked this discussion with shareholding pattern. Shall I give you homeworks every day? Like kids? You'll enjoy this. But so that tomorrow when you come, majority of you, those who are working, will get this feeling of back to college, where you get some homework. But it will be definitely some interesting homework. You have to tell me any two companies. By the way, where do you get this information? Will you have to download annual report? No. Today is Guru Purnima. And who is our guru these days? Google. Ask your guru, Google guru, that you have to tell me two companies. One which is a family run business and one is a professionally run business. Or if you want both family run business also okay. No problem. And how will you come to know about it? What will you have to check? Shareholding pattern. So you can just check shareholding pattern of Reliance Industries, shareholding pattern of Tata Motors, shareholding pattern of whatever. ऐसे कोई भी दो companies लो. And we can discuss this. Okay? And based on our thumb rules, would you buy that or would you sell that? Please, I have told you repeatedly, would that be the only parameter? One of the parameters could be this. This is okay. आज कितने concepts किए? Right from subsidiary, associate, standalone financial statements, consolidated financial statements, then the shareholding pattern. In shareholding, oh yes, we had also talked about joint ventures. Shareholding pattern mein we discussed mutual fund is not only a source of investment, but mutual fund is also an institution. We talked about the various regulators, right? All this discussion in one single day. Try to revise this and we'll come tomorrow with the homework also. Okay? See you.